Hi,
Hello.
I'm Julian.
This is the rhythm of the night. Whoop, sorry. I'm Tom.
We are Team Binge. We are here to talk about Widow's Bay, episode 4. This one was called Beach Reads, and I'm going to have that song stuck in my head for a very long time. Just got done watching the episode, Tom. Not a barrel of laughs, this one. I would say episode 1 through 3, barrel of laughs, very funny. This one, a little less funny and a little less Tom, but I still very much enjoyed it. This was like a throwback, I don't know, to reading those creepy stories, like the stories you tell in the dark or whatever. Those books
Right.
we had as children that librarians felt were good for us with those terrifying drawings. Anyways, I enjoyed this one. What'd you think, Tom?
I mean, there were two guys that just randomly ran into each other on bicycles that just fell over and started arguing. That was kind of funny in the background while she was reading.
That was weird, right? What was that about? I mean, was that just a commentary on bicyclists and how they don't know how to ride on walking paths? What's going on here? Was that a direct shot at bicyclists? Neither you or I know how to ride a bike, so we're not
Correct.
offended.
Yeah.
But that
parents
was
never taught us.
strange, right?
Yeah, I feel like it was. I couldn't tell if it was played for comedy or if it was people were close enough to this book that they were running into bikes. I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you. It definitely didn't have the comedic elements. There were still a handful in here, but it was fun to get Patricia's backstory, and it kind of reminded me of like kind of Carrie style vibes, where like everybody from school is like, we're all gonna laugh at you kind of thing, or kind of saying a bunch of stuff behind her back, and she's doing her best to try to fit in. So I kind of felt bad for Patricia. She was kind of like a quiet, kind of second in command with Tom, and now kind of getting her backstory. It does seem like she's had kind of a rough go of things with the people she grew up with.
Sure, I do like that we have brought up the boogeyman previously so that this wasn't jarring. This is like very good TV writing. We laid some breadcrumbs in some other episodes. We've got her like talking to Tom being like, stop me if I've told you this story. And he's like, you have told that story. And I don't know. I enjoyed that this wasn't just a bottle episode where we get her backstory, but it's all new. We know that there is a through line of the boogeyman, which I'm assuming part of her story arc might be to confront that. And I don't know if, the boogeyman, not to go too far down that boogie hole, but like the... was that a real serial killer? That's not like one of these things where it's just a story that we tell ourselves. Like legitimate people died. So I'm assuming there was a guy that killed those women and eventually like they know what happened to him. He's not just on the loose right now.
Yeah, and based on what we know of this town, it's like, is this a man that was possessed? Was this an actual, like, he had kind of situation where it was some sort of, like, spooky spiritual ghost thing that was murdering girls back in the day? We don't know yet, but I'm with you. I'm assuming we're going to get more.
That one seems more anchored in the real world, like a real person murdered real people as opposed to just some sort of legendary story. But I'm glad they have given us more of Patricia, even though it was at the expense of not spending time with Matthew Rhys. I'm fine with it. Tom, give us the summary of this episode. I know you looked it up, and I know that you love to read them.
Of course, the Apple synopsis. Make sure you pack a good read for the beach. We do not recommend self-help books on this island.
Nice. Tom, how many self-help books have you read in your life?
Oof. I don't read self-help books, buddy, because I don't need them.
That's true. That's very true. That would be the title page of your self-help book. You don't need this book. You're fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine.
You open up the first page and it says, nope, you're good, buddy. You could close this book.
Yep. And it's just a bunch of blank pages like the Nate Bargatze book, which legitimately had blank pages in it because he wanted you to catch up. Anyways, so it took me a beat to recognize, and they do play a clip for you. The last one ended with the sheriff on the radio being like, hey, I don't know what the bleep is going on. Get down here to Patricia's Cocktails. And I think I had a little bit of a confusion as to whether or not Patricia's Cocktails was like a restaurant, but we quickly find out that this is the name of the party that she's throwing. I thought this was all like very exciting. I loved the twist at the end of this. I didn't spend a lot of time watching like X-Files growing up or TV shows that were pitched as like scary. but I very much, this is like the right type of kind of weird horror that I enjoy. So
well, and I was going to say, like, it's such a slow burn, too. Like, you knew this book was potentially otherworldly the way it was essentially delivered to her.
Oh,
and
not at all, Tom. I thought it was just a nice self-help book where you got to write, you got to circle the body parts that you don't like on yourself. I can't wait to talk about that, a part of the book. No, I thought this book was absolutely normal. It fell off the shelf on its own. I didn't see any of this coming, Tom.
But I loved like watching Patricia essentially like spiral. Like, you think she's doing great, but no, this book is possessed and making her possessed. And I'm assuming, like, once we get to the end, and I'll just kind of touch on it here, this is a witch book, right? Is that kind of what your thought is? Like, we got the town museum, whatever, talking about like their fun of witchcraft in the town's history. So I'm assuming this is a remnant from that time.
Yes, I would assume this is some sort of satanic or witchcraft book that has been passed down in the free book bin from generation to generation. My spouse was like, oh, and she named it like a book. She was like the Necronomicon, which I think is from
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, yeah. But she named it in such a way that I was like, I'm sorry, are you reading these books on the regular? How do you know that name? But
you have not read the Necronomicon?
No.
The Book of the Dead?
No. I read the Book of Life, Tom. The Book of Life.
Just got to make sure you say the words right. Klaatu, Varata, Niktu.
Okay, what is this
That's a deep
callback
cut.
to?
That's a deep cut for the Army of Darkness fans,
Okay.
podcast listeners.
For a second, I thought you were going deep in the Mummy. I was like, I know they're doing a remake, but you can't expect me to remember the ancient Egyptian in the Book of the Dead. Anyways, let's dive into it. I'm okay with this. They showed us the crying on the radio or the screaming on the radio, and then they cut 4 days and
timey-wimey
to build all of this up, which I appreciate. We find out that Patricia runs like the local free library out of a van. Is that correct?
This is great. Did you see the name on it? It's called the Paddy Wagon.
What is it called?
It's called the Paddy Wagon. Free books.
Oh, nice.
So good.
And it
Her name's
makes
Patricia. She has a wagon. It's brilliant.
Oh, that is a brilliant name. I just noticed in the book donations, under the trash, I might add, and I love that she's like, every time. There was a Stephen King novel, which is, good. Very much how this show goes. I think it was The Shinin. We can't say The Shining, Tom, because we don't want to get sued.
No. But there was a Twilight book also in the actual
I saw
actual
that
Paddy
as
Wagon.
well, and I was so mad that I recognized it. I was like, I know that.
So excited.
That's so dumb that we knew. But ultimately, a book that is turned into her, and the cover says, "Your turn. Out with the old and in with the new," a self-help book. And I love the idea of a self-help book just being like, what don't you like about yourself? And you're going to feel better if you throw a party. And I was like, wait, is this the most brilliant idea ever? It's just a party planning book disguised as a self-help book. I love this. I love this so much. What I did not love is I just felt bad for Patricia this episode. I don't know. To your point, it's very Carrie-esque, but it's like, hey, no one likes this woman. She's kind of the town pariah, and it's because they think she wants and needs attention based on the other girls that were killed back in the day. And that's slowly rolled out in this episode, which I thought was well done. But it did just make me feel bad for Patricia, especially because she goes to this. I don't know. If you know the group of people don't like you, do you show up with a bottle of red, Tom, or do you just show up with a bottle of poison from the beginning and dish it out on all of them?
I mean, we're all drinking whites, but if you want to open the red, that's fine. I did. I felt terrible for her.
So
she probably
unnecessary.
She probably knew what she was getting into. There seemed to be one lady here, this Shelby, that maybe didn't know or was new to town, that seemed to be asking the questions. She was super excited about this. But yeah, everybody ultimately at this party, just a whole bunch of jerks. And I don't get it. They're mad at her because she survived. I don't understand why she would, if this is truly a lie, why she would continue to lie for attention. Because I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, I think they just think she's so sad and depressing that she wants the attention, and this is how she does it, by glomming onto their grief, which... I do want to just point out that the host of this party is very bad at introducing people, making sure everyone feels welcome. But you do get you do get the sense that they didn't think Patricia was going to show up. But why invite her if you don't want her to show up? Why send out the Evite to 156 people, if you don't want them to show up to Patricia's cocktails or whatever?
I agree. I mean, she was a bad host. She wasn't even playing Teeth or Run.
Right. None of the parlor games we played as children. I also want to point out that Shelby is like the newcomer, and she's like, "Oh, do you know all those people that died? That's so sad." I don't know. It's like meeting a veteran and being like, "How many people did you kill?" Like, you just like slow your roll a little bit, Shelby. You just met this woman.
Yeah.
But we get some backstory from Patricia, and this is reiterated from other episodes where she feels like the boogeyman was in her house, that she got away. And she did know all the other women that died, or the other girls, I should say. And all the other women at this party do not believe her, which is revealed through a lot of whispering, a lot of like overheard side comments. Tom, I wish the people in this town would learn how to whisper better.
Yeah, I'm sure you had the subtitles on, so you heard it all. But I definitely missed quite a few of it. What's your take here? Like, we'll just touch on it now. Do you think she actually was visited by the boogeyman? Do you think it was somebody else that just scared her? Like, because she obviously adamantly believes in it. Everybody does not. I don't think she's doing it for attention or anything. But I'm wondering if, like, you truly think she was haunted by this dude.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's either two things. It's one, in parallel, there was a real murderer who murdered the other girls. And then in parallel, there was an evil spirit that like happened to her around the same time, and so she just assumed it was the same killer, or she was just lucky enough, and maybe, I don't know, pure of heart. She seems like a lovely individual, although not after she satanic rituals all these people. But no, I think her story is legit. The question is just like, why was she saved? Why did she get away? And I do think after a while, if you're craving company and you are the pariah, and the reason you are such is because you keep bringing up that you were also almost victimized by the boogeyman. And by victimized, I mean murdered to death, as they say. Maybe stop bringing it up at parties. That's all. That's
fair.
That's one that maybe social cues tell you, hey, Shelby's not the moment to bring up that I also was almost murdered to death,
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, she didn't actively bring it up, right? It was Shelby that started this conversation, so it doesn't seem like she's pushing it.
I don't know. She could have been like, oh, yeah, I know them. Hey, what do you think of red wine? That's kind of like blood, right? Those girls that were murdered, a lot of red blood, so let's have some red wine. That's how you transition that conversation. I should write a self-help book on how to have conversations in public and how to transition from red wine into the next part of this episode, where
Incredible.
Patricia, wearing a red shirt, goes back home and she's reading Your Turn, which was the author I caught was Lucy Fors, which I thought was an interesting name. Although now that I'm thinking about it,
Lucifer.
Hey, let me get there, Thomas. Give me a moment, please. Lucy Fors. Obviously referring to that old woman that only had 4 fingers on each hand. That's why they called her Lucy Fors.
Lucy Four Fingers?
I think, yep, I figured it out. Lucy Fors, or who's the woman in the Game of Thrones Night of the Seven Kingdom who's missing like a thumb and a finger and able to do certain things? They sing about her during the episode. Anyways, Lucy Fors, we'll call her. I nailed it, Tom.
Listen, I just now recognize what that Lucy Fors meant. I wrote it down in the outline too, and I was like, oh, it's just a name. But yeah, Lucifer. I love that. Brilliant touch.
I'm pretty sure there's a movie called Angel Heart that I've never seen where the bad guy's name is like Lou Cipher, and you find out, guess what? Spoiler, Tom, he's the devil.
Classic.
This is where she's gone back home and the book has fallen off the shelf on its own. Tom, have you ever had a book fall off the shelf on its own?
Yep, Project Hail Mary.
Interesting. Which is now streaming, I should add, but that's a different subject entirely.
Amazing.
I plan on paying for it 4 more times. I single-handedly will push that budget or that box office to $1 billion. She's got the book. She's home alone. She's going to give it a go. She starts to read. I don't care for books that make you write them, Tom. I'm just going to say that right now. I did not. I was like, oh, that's a lot of blank pages that she has to fill out. Thanks, Lucy Fours, for not writing anything, you know?
I love the start of this where it's like, write what you like about yourself. And then it's like one line. And then it's like, write what you don't like about yourself. And it's like 5-10 lines. Like they give you so much more space for not liking yourself. Well, I thought was brilliant.
That I did not notice that, but now that you point that out, that is great. That is great. And then all of a sudden, some straight up graphic nudity where we've got this.
Could have done without this.
Yeah. Well, also, what if this was a book for dudes? Like they didn't give you an either or. It was just the female body, you know?
It's for witches. It's not a book for wizards. It's for witches.
Did it say that on the cover, Tom? I see myself picking up. I see myself as a teenager picking up Your Turn out with the old, and then my parents finding it between the mattress and being like, "What is this?" and me being like, "I learned it from you." Anyways,
it's important to ask at this point, your podcast co-host, what parts of the body are you circling, Julian?
Just a big circle over the whole body, my guy. Just like as if that body is standing in front of the sun. You know, just a giant circle. It's standing in the entrance to a tunnel, Tom. Just the whole thing. Same question, friend. Have fun.
I'm assuming my knees, due to the drinker's knees. I'm going to do that.
Knees.
Yeah.
Drinker's knees and tennis elbow, my guy. Yep.
It's pickleball elbow at this point.
I will come over to your house right now and slap that book out of your hand if you circle anything on your face, sir. The moneymaker that you have, it's priceless, shouldn't be changed at all.
You're so kind.
Other than your
I'd return the
eyebrows.
favor, but I don't want to lie.
I've always had issues with your eyebrows, but that's neither here nor there. Let's move on.
Hurtful.
Ultimately, the goal in order to make your life better is to throw a party, Tom. Tom, if you're worried about those eyebrows of yours, throw a party. That's the solution.
I am now. Did you see, like, when she's, like, flipping through the pages and she sees the drawings? Like, I'm quite certain as you zoom into the drawing, there is, like, the party and there's, like, a coffee table and there's just lines of Coke on the drawing. It was so great. Triggering for me.
Lucifors loved an 8-ball of cocaine, which, sorry, Tom, I know that awakens some things in you. I don't want you to go chase the white dragon. But, no, I did not notice that, and I'll tell you why. I take notes while we watch these shows. Tom, I almost missed the thing in the beginning that was like 4 days earlier. My wife was nice enough to say it out loud. I can't imagine watching this episode without seeing that it was 4 days. 4 days earlier, because I would have been so confused. But
I almost missed, like, we'll get to it later, but when they're all dancing and they do that super creepy, like, mouth wide open thing, I almost missed that. We had to rewind it to watch it again, and it was just as terrifying. I wish I would have missed it.
I didn't care for it at all. All right, but this is how ultimately Sunset Cocktails is conceived, that we read through this book, and that's how you find happiness in life, Tom, by throwing parties.
And I like how she's like obsessively writing, so it's like kind of very quickly realizing this book is kind of more than meets the eye here.
I gotta be honest, Tom, I know it's like some sort of weird, coked up witchcraft haze, but I really liked enthusiastic, I'm gonna throw a party and it's gonna be the best party ever, Patricia. When she, like, her enthusiasm, which once again is, I guess, driven by Satan, or Lucifer, is just great. She's now at the bar, or I guess the salty whale, right? Is where she's like planning everything. She's talking to the barkeep. I love that the barkeep's never hosted a party in his life. He's like, what are flower arrangements? She makes the mistake of going over to this group of, can we call them the Sea Hags? Are we allowed to do that? This group of women that are always mean to Patricia. The Sea Hags in Shelby. She goes over and she's like, hey, having a party. I did not really like how she's like, oh, RSVP, because I felt like that level of, hey, like, get in now before it's too late. I didn't like that salesmanship that she was doing.
Pushy. Yeah,
it was definitely pushy, and we find out that Bill, who I don't believe we've met yet, maybe we have, is having a parallel party at the old Elks Lodge.
What a jerk. Double book the party.
Double book the party. Gotta be honest, Bill's party sounds better though. If between you and me, and
I
just
started better, but Patricia's ended better.
That's true. That's true. No one got drugged at Bill's party for sure. I did just write in the outline, these women were so mean to Patricia. I was like, I look forward to Patricia murdering all these women, and wouldn't you know it, I think it almost happened. So that was great. We didn't get enough of it, but I do find Patricia's interactions with Rosemary, who's the real hero of this episode, as well as Dale, is pretty funny. She's like, listen, it's going to be the best party ever. I need you to have how many songs, Tom? How many songs does Dale need?
800 songs. I think she wrote down every song that she just knew. It was great.
800, let's say conservatively, that's 4 minutes a song, right? So 800 songs. Well, they're blended seamlessly. So let's say 3 minutes. So
Okay.
800 times 3 equals 2,400 divided by 60. This party's going to be 40 hours long, Tom. No one check my math on that, please. No one check my math.
That's probably a good idea, but I'm here for it. I'm here for every song.
40-hour long party, which I love. All of this leading to Patricia being like, hey, call the Elks Lodge. We're going to get their liquor license revoked. Shut down
that.
Bill's party. Actually, the more I'm talking this out, maybe Patricia isn't likable.
Well, again, a little bit of Satan in there. We don't know how much of this was actually Patricia versus Satan.
That's what my mom used to say about me. She's a little bit of Satan in there. And yeah. And now that I'm older, she goes, a lot of bit of Satan in there. So
A little bit more of Satan.
as he's gotten older. All right. So there is a title in the book. The show is so well done, and I know it's like cheap, almost like subtitles of like title cards, but it makes sense that the book would have like chapters, and so that it then cut and the book be like, listen, the amount of people that show up to your party is going to be your societal value, which like drives her to like, I need people to show up in RSVP, which is great.
I love how the book is just sending her all these little things just to make her even more obsessed about it. She gets to that point where she's like looking at the invitation list and it's like 3 people, and then she refreshes 3 people, refreshes 3 people. It reminds me of me refreshing our podcast listens to see when we go from 10 to 11.
And it just happens to be one of us is listening to the podcast twice, and so it rolls over. Yep, I'm with you. I liked this. There's an establishment now, and maybe it was in other episodes and I just didn't catch it, but this island has CCTV. The sheriff has the ability to like check these local cameras, which, Tom, you've always been a huge fan of the surveillance state. I think you wrote a letter to the last 4 presidents just saying, hey, expand the Patriot Act, and I really want more CCTV in this country. So
yeah, I want to
make you feel good?
More CCTV. Yeah.
Terrible. I hate that I'm laughing at that. Oh, I don't care for that joke. Jimmy, edit out my laugh. Keep the joke, but just silence afterwards, please.
Crickets.
For a full minute, Jimmy. Thank you. All right. So this is also, and this took me a beat, because she's sitting at the table reading, and since it's black and white, you don't have a like daytime nighttime. This is the best camera in the world. It doesn't change, it doesn't get darker. And initially I was looking in the bushes because he goes, what was that, or like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, there's something in the bushes. So then I rewound, only to find out we were supposed to be watching the timestamp on the CCTV in which Patricia is, I guess, at that table for the whole night. Like it shows 11 p.m. through like 4 a.m., something like that.
Yep, she's burning the midnight oil by reading this book. So, and she seemed very well prepared when she gets to the party, so it was probably all worth it.
If you saw that on the CCTV, Tom, wouldn't the next thing you would do go and visit Patricia and just be like, hey, are you reading the 3rd Twilight book? Because I saw it in the paddy wagon, and I know it's like you can't put it down once you start. Is that what you're reading? Like, I feel like maybe the sheriff should have done a little bit of what's it called, where you show up, a welfare check on old Patricia, just to see if she's A, still at that table, and B, okay at home. And C, or 3, A, B, and 3, what is she reading? Right, Tom? Isn't that what we want to know?
I mean, the sheriff seems very busy, so I mean,
Are
I understand.
you kidding me? The sheriff is on the radio with his wife while she's looking at real estate on the mainland. This guy's got nothing going on. In fact, when his deputy comes in and is like, hey, Tom wants to know if you found the old lady yet, which is great. There's like a note that says, still looking for old lady that's faster than she should be. That was one of the times I actually chuckled during this episode.
Loved it.
He said, what do you think I'm watching, like Happy Days or some TV show? I half expected him to then turn on a television and start watching whatever he mentioned to his deputy. But
that would have been great.
This sheriff does not have a lot going on. You know who does have a lot going on, Tom? Party planning Patricia. She's just chopping away. And actually this makes this a lot creepier now that I think what she's chopping later on.
These are not strawberries.
No, they are not. It's a lot of beheadings of animals, like all that chopping she's doing. Let me ask you a question, Tom, and I hate to play the blame game, but is Rosemary to blame a little bit? Just a little bit? She seems to be observing all of this, right?
We don't know when the wheels truly came off. Like, was she wearing this antler headdress at this point? Was she chopping mice or other small critters into the punch bowl at this point? If she was, then yes, I agree. Rosemary may have stepped in a little bit earlier. But, yeah, it was great. I love Rosemary kind of playing the straight person here. Right.
Let me ask you this. How many animals until you say something? Like, she pulls out a bird.
Good question.
She chops the head off. Are you like, well, let's see what she's doing. She's pretty determined. She's got a recipe book in front of her. Like, let's see where this goes. And then she pulls out a squirrel and she like starts to dissect it. Like, at what animal, what number, like, when are you stepping in?
I think birds are okay. It's once you move to rodents and you get like a rat tail or head. Yeah, that's a step too far.
That's funny. So in your mind, birds aren't people. That's interesting. Only rodents are people in your mind.
Well, rodents they're just filthy. I mean, I'll eat a bird.
But that's when you get concerned. The bird you're fine with. Have the woodpeckers been hammering at your house, Tom? Is this a little bit of real life seeping into podcast, Tom? Is that what's happening?
I just want to murder all the birds that are in my tree outside.
Birds are the worst. Then some people, Tom, they don't even think they're real. You know, speaking of surveillance state, there's just cameras out there watching us. Anyways, let's move on. Patricia.
Side note, I love birds. You should, and if the podcast listening audience hasn't downloaded the Merlin app, they should download it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Have it listen to birds, it tells you who they are. It's lovely.
That's a good, no free ads, Tom, but yeah, definitely go download the Merlin app. If you're a nerd. All right. Actually, I'm the one that told you about the Merlin app, so that's on me. We've got Patricia. The party, I believe, has started at this point. She's doing some hosting and some drinking. I'm pretty sure in this book somewhere it's probably like, hey, the lines of cocaine you serve, don't do them yourself, but the punch is okay. You can serve the punch and drink the punch, because she's definitely drinking the punch, which once again, now that I think about is what's in that punch, I just get really grossed out. We get the cut where we're reminded that she did call Tom during this moment, and she leaves him the voicemail. So, once again, just continuity between episodes that I appreciate.
Yeah, and there's another bit of continuity, too, where I think Tom is talking to Patricia and say, like, hey, are you pushing the cocktail sunset thing tonight? And she's like, yes, I'm pushing it hard. And now we know, like, this was her sunset cocktail thing, so she was pushing it, which was pretty funny. And I do love the cutback to, is it Dale. The DJ? Yeah. Check 1 2, check 1 2. It's so good.
She's like, yeah, we started 15 minutes ago. Why are you still checking? He's like, it's
complicated.
Very complicated. And then nothing kills a party more than the host walking around being like, where are all the good-looking people? Have you seen any of the good-looking people? I once again, I love this. And once again, maybe Patricia is a little bit rude. I don't know.
This is the Satan talking. I don't think this is Patricia talking.
Little bit of Satan in there. Dale, the DJ, and the ad playing was just chef's kiss. I enjoyed it so much. As someone who has been paying for Spotify for, I don't know, what seems like 20 years, I stand by a guy that won't pay for premium and is just listening to the ads, you know?
And again, fantastic song choices of This Is How We Do It. I mean, that's really going to pump up a party.
Oh, got the party started. What else got the party started, Tom, is the bachelorette party showing up. Now, I do want to point out, and I do believe this is probably just like we didn't want to pay the actor for another episode, but this bachelorette party shows up, and our friend Marissa or something along those lines was not part of it. This is who she was supposed to be with, but she's not here in this moment, and I'm assuming that's because she's with Tom, right? Because that would have been the parallel.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too because I clocked the same thing. We don't see Marissa, but maybe she was with some of the friends from the bachelorette party and she was going to Tom's place and then she maybe gets in said taxi and heads over. But I feel like that would have been interesting to see her, but I almost feel like it's more fun that we didn't because it just continues to throw the thing of like, is she the sea hag? Like, again, we said in the last episode she's not because it was an off-camera thing. But I like how the show just continues to kind of allow us as an audience to question it.
Sure. All right. We then have the awful conversation where, once again, the mean girls, the sea hags and Shelby, are at this party. And Patricia, which I liked, finally confronts them. And once again, maybe this is a little bit of the Satan talking, but we then get a rundown of how the other girls died, which didn't sound like, listen, I've never been murdered before, but the way these women get murdered didn't sound like fun. One got stabbed and then put in the dryer where she baked to death. That's insane. No, thank you. Also, if you open the door on the dryer, it shuts off. I used to go into the dryer as a kid, and I can tell you can get out. They make them so you can get out.
It's like the trunk of a car. They give it a little handle. Okay, noted.
Exactly. Or a wooden box when you're hiding from a sea hag for 72 hours. And ultimately we get like, hey, the resentment here is because this woman's friends died and Patricia seems to be like an attention hound and they don't believe her. Got it. I believe Patricia, and I think these women are mean. I just want to be on the record. Also, I think birds are fine.
Okay, I'm going to note that in the record.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. After this confrontation, Patricia's sad. Patricia goes to the kitchen, and Patricia cries. And
No, she's just yawning.
Oh,
just a little bit of light yawning.
That's right. I'm just sad yawning. Sure. I did know this was not a real yawn because I watched it and I myself did not yawn in response.
Touche.
But it's time to serve the punch, Tom, according to the good book. No, the bad book. We're going to call this the bad book. According to the bad book, it's time to serve punch.
This book is getting pretty pushy.
Oh, so pushy. Listen, as a guy that's lived most of his life based on a book that tells you what to do, there are some books that are a little bit pushy out there, but let's move on. We got a lot of dancing, and I think the dancing was the moment where I was like, okay, like, what's surreal? I almost felt like my prediction was going to be, are they going to cut away and Patricia was going to be, like, legitimately alone in this building, and, like, this is all in her head. But this show is more clever than I am, and they do something better than that. But we just see a riotous good time. And you know what they say, Tom? The good times don't last, so they're not going to last.
Well, I love it because, like, yeah, she's serving the punch officially, and we see everybody just enjoying it and dancing. And then we suddenly see Patricia becoming the center of attention, which I think is fun. And I think we got the quick cut to the sheriff where he gets like the noise complaint. He says he'll kind of check it out. But then when we kind of go back, they're listening to that Rhythm of the Night song. And that's where we get those frozen mouths, like that quick cut. Like if you weren't paying attention, you'd miss it. And they're just, the jaws are open just wide enough to make it that much more terrifying. It's like, my wife at first, she's like, oh, I thought they were just, happy dancing with their mouths open. But it is so terrifying. I loved it. Yeah,
and they do it two ways. They do it like the camera is kind of swirling around the room, and it almost one of the cuts, you see it almost like swipe where they're all standing still. And then the other cut is when she's giving the speech, and you see it in the mirror. And that to me was like even worse because you got to look for it. I do want to point out that once again, the sheriff that does not have a lot to do, although he is supposed to be searching for the sea hag, is talking with his wife outside of one of the bars. There is an old woman that looked awfully like a sea hag that just walks by his vehicle. She's like an extra. The show doesn't acknowledge it. But I was like, hey man, like go talk to that lady because she fits the description of a sea hag. But it was just the show, letting an extra walk across the road.
That's funny. I didn't notice.
The toast, just an incredible toast. She's clearly like, what we hear is not what she actually says, right?
I mean, I would assume it is. I mean, but nobody's hearing this. I guess.
Well, because Rosemary makes a comment, right?
Yeah, like, I don't know what you just said. So, yeah, maybe it is just all nonsense because we know everybody here is in some sort of like trance state. But then I also wonder, like, if Rosemary didn't drink the punch and she is there watching this, is she seeing all these people's faces and mouths ajar? Because I would argue she would have some questions.
Oh, 100%. Rosemary's like definitely just letting all of this happen because I believe she's just drinking wine and she is watching Patricia chop up animals. She's definitely walked outside and seen them all in their weird like... Well, and maybe that state doesn't happen. No, because during the dancing, they're in that state. I was going to say maybe that didn't happen until the speech, but the speech is what sends them all towards the bonfire. So, yeah, Rosemary definitely just letting this happen. She's like, what does she say at one point when at the end she's like, well, you told me to, like, let you be you. I was like, no, there's a point, Rosemary, where maybe we step in,
Oh, it's so good. And then, like, yeah, the sheriff eventually walks in and, like, stops her and says, like, hey, what in the heck is going on? And that's where we get the reveal. But I also love the concept of, like, her wearing this antler headdress thing, which is just ridiculous and over the top. But then we got the comments from different people about her wearing this tiara that people thought was over the top. So it's like, was this tiara this deer headdress thing the whole time?
Right. Because I think someone does say in the background, what does she have on her head? And you assume it's the tiara, but she's wearing an antler headdress. Which, Tom, I gotta be honest, it looked pretty dope. I mean, can we bring back antler headdresses? Are we allowed to? Is that something?
I mean, we should.
I would love to bring back satanic rituals and antler headdresses. You know what I mean? But the sheriff, the way that actor like comes in and plays this, just very well done. And the way the camera kind of pulls back and then cuts and shows you what she's making. Some of that stuff I find very disgusting, but I thought this was like super well done. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Yeah, it wasn't like too over the top and like gory to a point of being more than it probably needed to be. It was just the right amount.
Yeah, you were like, give me more dead birds. You know what I mean? That's what you were saying because you're a monster. She then runs out into the dance hall. And she picks up the book, and wouldn't you know it, it's no longer a self-help book, Tom. It's an old satanic ritual book.
Classic. Yeah, so again, the assumption is this is back to the town lore of the witch trials or whatever it was, and this book is chasing her and wanting her to do this craziness. I feel like as she's even flipping through the book, we see a picture of the sea hag, right? So this book might be more of the lore and shenanigans going on this island than just this one self-help book.
Right. And I don't even know that... I think based on how this episode ends, they're leading us to like a unifying haunt. But I'd be super cool if all of these are just unrelated. It's just like each episode is a different weird haunt. Like, I'm okay with that. But I do think they have laid the groundwork that you can theory craft that all of this does go back to. And this is very like Lovecraftian in terms of like different haunts, and maybe this season of this show, and by goodness I hope they have a second season, maybe this season is like the sea haunt, so the sea hag is like the main kind of thing that is bringing all of this, and next season is, I don't know, the Abominable Snowman, or I don't know, Lou, and maybe, I'm sorry, is the sea hag, do you think the sea hag's name is Lucy Force, Tom? Do you think that's what that means? Maybe
it could be. She was wearing that name tag. She had that name tag that said Lucy, so
That's a good point. That's a very, very good point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All the zombie people are headed towards the bonfire, which, once again, please close your mouths and don't walk into the dark. I found the water the most terrifying part of this. I don't go in water at night, especially like an open body of water. I barely will go into a swimming pool. Too many things will grab your ankle and drag you under and murder you. No thank you.
Yeah, I thought the sea hag might make an appearance here, but I guess maybe she would have, but she has been recently turned into mush. But yeah, like they were essentially drowning themselves, right? They weren't like heading towards the fire to set themselves ablaze. They were all just going to the middle of the water.
Yeah, it was like the fire was a signal to bring them down to the beach so they could walk into the water where the sea hag, I guess, would make them people hags. I don't know. All I know is if I was that sheriff before I ran even ankle deep into that water, I would have emptied my magazine just all
into
over
what?
the place. The water, man. The water. At a certain point, the water is the enemy, Tom. You know how you stop drowning? You shoot the water. It's exactly. It's in the good book.
Incredible.
All right. I appreciated I didn't need a long drawn out fist fight with anything. It was just she recognizes, hey, I need to burn this book. She runs over. It's initially difficult. There is some sort of power in the book that repels it back from the fire, but she in the end is able to just hold it there and watch it burn. And once again,
she's a monster, right? She's burning books. She's
well, I think there are certain books that should be burned, Tom. And
interesting.
I don't want to read the letter I sent to the local school district about which books should be burned and banned.
Clifford, yeah. I know you have.
Yes. Why is it such a big red dog, Tom? That's what I want to know. What makes it big?
Why is it red? Yeah. Why is it red, not blue?
Anyways, yeah. So I just appreciate it was a quick conclusion, but I didn't need her to go hand-to-hand combat with, I don't know, the sea hag or a fire monster or something. So, but all the people, this cut where they all wake up immediately, really well done. I thought it was great. I wonder from an actor standpoint how difficult that is to go from slack face, open mouth to, hey, what's going on? Where'd the music go? I thought we were rhythming of the night. What's happening?
I like the doctor. He was the first one to say something. It's what the F is going on? It was great.
Yeah. Only to lead to one of the sea hags, the woman sea hag, saying, she drugged our punch, or she drugged the punch, she drugged us, which
Blaming
you
her.
immediately go back to Patricia, who saved them. Well, ultimately Sataned them, then saved them, and now she's the bad guy again.
It's a bummer. I feel bad.
It is a bummer. But you know who needs her help, Tom? Tom and Wick.
My man.
It doesn't help that your name is Tom. Oh,
It's even better. I'm the hero.
They pull up and they're like, how are you? She's like, not great. Party didn't go well. They're like, well, we need your help. And you can just see that someone needing her, wanting to be with her. She has this look of relief and enjoyment, even though this night did not go how she wanted it to go. And then we arrive at the church, and I wasn't expecting this part. I kind of assumed we were gonna wake up from the trance and just end this, but the show very cleverly is hey, remember the other storylines that are happening. So we go to the church. Did you jump, Tom? When the door swung, did you jump?
Ooh, I didn't jump, but I felt I got shivers down my spine, and seeing this was brutal, and then seeing the camera pan to just their reactions, and Tom kind of clocking it first, and then Wick and Patricia. It was terrifying and awful. And then again, only this show could do it. It immediately then cuts to credits to "This is the rhythm of the night." I'm like, oh my goodness, it was so brilliant.
Yep, very good. I actually really like the actor that plays the priest.
Bummed to see him go.
He was on a TV show called *Halt and Catch Fire* that I really enjoyed. But yeah, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. We'll probably get him in flashbacks, or he seems like the type of guy that filmed a VHS tape of hey, this is what's going on before he hung himself.
That could be interesting.
We're in the church next, and we've got our three heroes, Tom, Wick, and Patricia, which they're all going to be. If I've ever played a video game before, they're all going to be armed with like slightly different weapons and all have slightly different abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. But I enjoyed this. It was creepy. Once again, wasn't as funny as the other episodes, but it was well done. It moved. I just continue to enjoy this show. So, I think do we spend the next one trying to figure out like what was happening in the church and I guess the overall curse of it all? That's kind of where we've landed. Because at this point, we have 3 people that like know a haunt's happening, have seen evidence, and like truly believe. The rest of the townspeople can chalk it up to being drugged. But we have these 3 people, and maybe you could throw the sheriff and Rosemary on the team of people that have witnessed something otherworldly, right?
Yep, that's fair. I think I did see, like, when a new episode comes out, they give you a little bit of the one coming next week, and it seems like it might center more around, like, the teenagers and some of the kids, based on the quick little description for it. So, yeah, I'm, again, very much enjoyed this episode. Didn't have the humor as much, but it was still there, and the show was still very, very, very well done. And bringing in kind of the timey-wimey element where we're jumping back 4 days and kind of tying back in things we heard from previous episodes was excellent and brilliantly. Continue to love this show and can't wait for more.
I can't either. And so we will be back for Episode 5, for those of you that are listening to us. If we missed something, if you'd like to add something, you can reach us at teambingepodcast@gmail.com. We do like to hear from you. I want to give a shout out to Carl W. Carl, thanks for reaching out. It was good to hear from you. And Carl was kind enough to put in the subject line, "This email is not scary." And so I was brave enough to open it. And I appreciate that, Carl. If you do enjoy what we're doing here, please take the time to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps us grow. We do appreciate it. As well, Tom, I think we still have a TeePublic store. If you want to get someone a Team Binge t-shirt, my wife was actually wearing hers today, which I was surprised by because, as I mentioned in a previous podcast, she served me divorce papers. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not
But she's
sad.
keeping the Team Binge shirt.
Yes. I think she's on your side, Tom. So what did I miss?
Yes, and follow us on the socials at Team Binge or at Team Binge Podcast on Twitter, on Instagram, Threads, whatever is your social of choice. And like Julian said, if you leave us a review, throw us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, throw us a comment. We will read said comment on the air. We really appreciate it. Again, it's been such a fun show. We love the Apple shows. We've got a great back catalog of other Apple jams, so definitely go check it out. And yeah, man, can't wait for more. Excited.
Wonderful. Well, for Team Binge, I have been Julian.
This is the rhythm of the night. Oh, yeah.
Great.
I've been Tom. Good night, everybody.
I hate that. I hate that so much.